This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today we got a live stream, and I got my guy King, who represents everything Detroit from the Pistons to the Lions. And we're gonna have to talk about this Sunday matchup coming up. And you see the title on the thumbnail, plus right above me, who needs this win more? Two teams that been through a lot of down this season. We all had our little ups, if we can call it that, at certain times of the season. Go ahead, introduce yourself for the people who don't know you.
What's going on, everybody? I appreciate the opportunity, first and foremost, Mike. My name is Everything King. I do Detroit sports, via YouTube. I've been doing it for about 6 years. So I'm well coded into Detroit Lions football, and I'm very interested to talk about this topic. Actually, both of our teams play each other this week, which is interesting. So, but yeah, we're here to talk Lions and Eagles and who needs it more right now. So I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah. So I know you are coming off a big game against a previous quarterback that spent almost a decade there with you, Matthew Stafford, and you got a team, the Rams and Stafford, who were flying high, and the Detroit Lions gave them everything they could ask for in a close game. What was your thoughts coming out of that game, and just reminiscent of the season and how many games you actually played close, and how that could transfer to the Eagles coming to Detroit and it not looking so good for us?
Well, actually, for our team to stand up and play that tough against the LA Rams, it's Matthew Stafford and the Rams we're talking about. Anybody with a right mind that watch any amount of football would say, hey man, the Lions probably lose about a good 50 points this game. So for them to play and to stand up to the Rams like that, we were pretty much impressed. I was pretty much happy about the future, but on the flip side, Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been a common name in our city. And with our fan base, man. And like I said, he, turned the ball over at the end the way that he did, and pretty much, exhaust any chance that we had. It's kind of frustrating because we've been in a lot of close games. Baltimore Ravens, same scenario. At the end of the game, we just couldn't do it. We lost by 2 record-breaking field goals this year. So it's just like, when does it ever end? So, like I said, yeah, it's tough. I know you guys. You guys are 2-5. I know you guys. You definitely not feeling the coaching staff like we are. We're feeling our coaching staff. We like the job that they're doing. We just don't have the talent yet. It's rebuild season for both. So, I can go with that.
Yeah, and see, and that's just crazy how the complexion can change like that, right? So, you got a team that is 0-7 at this point, played a couple close games, in a rebuild season, you can really hang on to moral victories and things like that, what you can build on. But see, even without a dub, you feel good about your coaching staff because you look at the players on the roster, you see who possibly will be here, won't be here, the turnover that's going to happen. Some guys who are just older veterans that just, just trying to make a paycheck, but, are buying into a system where the Eagles, are in rebuild too, right? But,
Yeah.
we have a better record than some of the other rebuilding teams, but it's in the context of what we see on the field. Like, we just are not buying into this coaching staff. And I'm really never been the guy to write off anybody this early. I mean, when you're breaking records in ways that are opposite of winning football, that's what makes me get off. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts has had his fair share of mishaps, but I believe if he's put in a different situation, he can be a better quarterback. Is he ever going to be to thread the needle, drop back and complete 80% of his passes? No, probably not, or at least not this year or next year. But can we see some growth? Can we see some, I understand this defense better. Ooh, I know what to do here better. Ooh, my team's put me in this situation better. We run the ball the least in the NFL when it comes to our running backs. We are the most RPO team in the NFL. And then if you look on our defense, we allow almost 4 quarterbacks this year so far to complete 80%. And although they're good quarterbacks, completing 80% is a lot in the NFL. So we have a lot to desire. I think we do have the players, because you look at a guy who's coming home to Detroit for the first time in big play Slay. You look at a long-term veteran in Steven Nelson, Ronnie McLeod, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, who has 5 or 6 sacks his own right? You got the veterans mixed in with a bunch of some no names in there. And same on the offense side, is all upside. It just can't be put together with the coaching staff. So that's where I think we differ there. But if you had to say right now, the most surprising thing that the Detroit Lions showed you this year, maybe in the run game, pass game, defense, that and the third, what is the biggest surprise? You're like, ooh, we're doing this the right way, at least.
First and foremost, the defense. With the offense, we know what we had in DeAndre Swift and TJ Hockenson. We know that we don't have the big play receiver yet. We'll get that in the draft or maybe in free agency. But the defense, just the amount of players that we got out injured on this team and on reserve is absolutely atrocious. So it is, we got Pro Bowlers that's out right now. Then in the secondary, our previous number 3 pick in Jeff Okudah, he just can't stay on the field. So, like I said, to grab that defense with a bunch of guys on it, and take it to where Aaron Glenn is taking it, it's been amazing. I've been a big fan of his before his first game even, played as a Detroit Lions coordinator, listening to other guys around the league talk about how smart Aaron Glenn is. And, obviously seeing it for myself, it's amazing. It's definitely amazing. And, it's crazy that we on the opposite end with our coaching staffs like that. At least you guys win 2 games. Probably not the cream of the crop when it comes to opponents, where you look at the Falcons, right, with the Falcons and the Panthers, man. But it's like I said, at least you got there. We definitely should have at least 1 win. Our biggest thing here in Detroit is not to go 0-17. We don't want to go. We already made history before. We don't want to go 0-17.
And look, really, no shade on your team, because if you really look at the game log, putting in the work against the Baltimore Ravens, giving the Rams all you got, you got beat up, coming back against San Francisco to lose. You do have a couple of stinkers in there, Jared Goff will do that at times, but the majority, the Lions have been coming Sundays to play. And the one thing the Eagles do is we can't score a touchdown in the first quarter and not play competent football until the fourth quarter, right? We just can't do that, or the Lions will be in Detroit. Look, I remember when Detroit made history, and every game was like, let's just win 1. And I've seen you win only a couple games. When you do get over that hump and get that 1 game, y'all fans show out for it, right? So coming to Detroit, the Eagles are on the road for the second week, kind of holding our heads down. Our coach is saying that, comparing our team to a garden. He's talking about, we want the roots to grow. Like, I understand what he was trying to say, but he could have said so many more metaphors, right? The dude's talking about the roots need to grow as long as we're fertilizing and watering. One day they're going to sprout out, pop out, and be good. I'm like, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, man. We got people on Twitter, putting up the meme. I know everybody watches The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was in the sunflower costume. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? You're going from dog mentality 1 week, and then you're just talking about, oh, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. I don't understand it. But to lose, and again, I'm not trying to throw shade, but to give you guys your first win is just will be the ultimate defeat. Yeah. Even though you guys been scrappy, just because the record is your record. Though you allowed them to get that first win. That's a long plane ride home. You got the trade deadline right there, and I'm not saying this is coaching staff is what's going forward, but Howie Roseman and the coaching staff, they might be able to do some damage to this roster before they even are here next year. So I just don't want another Chip Kelly kind of on our hands where you do get rid of certain players, then you bring something in here that is competent, like you said, your defensive coordinator, in a sense where he's making guys who are just backups look pretty good in the scheme, where we're making starters look bad in the scheme. You know what I mean? Being 31st against the run and allowing quarterbacks to complete 80%. It's just a mixture for as many losses as we have. this is what I got to ask you. DeAndre Swift, how much do you have? How much have you seen from this year? Is he taking that step? And is he a guy you think can get 25 carries against the Eagles this week?
Well, like the one thing that you need to be aware of with DeAndre Swift, 25 carries is not in his vocabulary. He is a absolute major threat in the pass. They pass the ball to him a lot out the backfield, and he has been absolutely dangerous, man. This guy is, for the last 2 weeks straight, we've seen him steamroll somebody, like a Madden hit stick. So,
well, Alex Singleton be waiting here to get steamrolled. He's been getting steamrolled, to be honest, a lot.
With the thing with him is it's not just him. We also have Jamal Williams, man. He's been amazing too. So it's more like a lightning and thunder combination. Jamal's going to come right up the middle, man, and he's not easy to tackle. So him coming from Green Bay, that's why we went out and got him. So, like I said, I have no problems with the offense, even for the receivers that we have, man. They catch the football. They get open. The problem is we have a quarterback that can't read anything. He can't see. And then when, he has the opportunity right in front of him, he looks the other way for some reason. Jared Goff has really just been that bad. And, that is my only fear about, facing you guys this upcoming weekend, man, because you just don't know what we're going to get out of our quarterback. You just don't know if he's going to be focused or if he's going to go out there and fumble or turn the ball over, because it's Jared Goff and they sent him here to Detroit for a reason. So, like I said, we'll trade you for Hurts anytime you guys want to.
I mean, look, some of Philly's already turned their back on Hurts in the sense of he is missing some guys the same way maybe Goff is. The only difference is this is his 11th start to Goff's 5th year in the league, Super Bowl appearance and everything. There's a big difference, and I don't like to compare guys, but I've seen guys get over the hump of the panic button and stuff like that. But you got to put the extra work in to do that. He does leave some plays on the field.
Yeah, even with Jared Goff, I can't even give him that credit. You went to the Super Bowl and you had 3 points, and that spoke to everything, and it frustrated LA fans, because that defense and Sean McVay was responsible for that success for the most part. They held his hand, and Dan Campbell is not doing that. He's not holding his hand. He's not going to pamper him. You got to go out there and do something. So, it's your job. You're going to be here for these 2 years. If you want to remain a starting quarterback in this league, this is your opportunity. Jared Goff has not been doing a good job of showing why he should be a starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah. But just to say real quick before we get to the super chat, the crazy part is this is how important a scheme is for a quarterback. Now, yes, Jalen Hurts, when he misses wide open passes, just overthrows them. That is something. You got to work on your accuracy, your touch, it's out in your third, your mechanics. Do you just wake up and know it? No, but a guy as determined as Jalen Hurts, I think, will go the extra mile. I'm not a guy who says he will automatically learn it if he works, or he will not. But I think more than 10 starts should be required, especially when you look at the team and we're not going anywhere right away. But when I look at Goff, right, his first year was with Jeff Fisher, the quarterback destroyer, which might be Nick Sirianni too. So Jeff Fisher, the quarterback destroyer, Jared Goff looked like an absolute bust, right, as the first overall pick. Then he gets Sean McVay, boy wonder, and no matter what we say, he can't get it done. He statistically looked good, and he was getting it done with the mixture of the run and pass, a little bit of the RPO, having Cooper Kupp and these guys on his team, right? And then that's when McVay realized my team is good, and Goff is getting good stats, but Goff can't win us the big game, and that's when he made his thing. And now Goff is coming back, reverting to himself. So that's just how important scheme is, right? I'm not saying Jalen Hurts will be great, but if Jalen Hurts was on the Rams and McVay was coming up with the plays, he would keep him in his comfort zone while still knowing exactly when to disperse him, and it will bring confidence to a young guy. That's all I've been saying, you know what I mean? But shout out to GD with the $5 super chat. Here we go. Eagle fans have been severely overrating the talent on this team. Some fans had the Eagles winning the division. The Eagles aren't much better than Detroit. He want to hear that. And I was always between 7 wins, but I ain't going to lie. As the season got closer, we picked up Steven Nelson. I bumped it up to 9. I said 7 and 9. I'm going to fall back on 7. I still think there's 7 games, but it starts with Detroit.
Like I said, it should be interesting because I know they're gonna have a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence, man, after that game against the Rams. So it'll be interesting, man. It's like battle of the bad teams right now. It's the battle of the rebuilding teams, I'll say. Even though our record is even worse, but and like I said, as far as a bad team, man, the only thing that says that Detroit is a bad team is the fact that we can't finish the games. We just cannot finish the games. And most of the time is because we can't start the games. We've had multiple halves where, first halves where Jared Goff just gave us no points. And then, meaningless football in the third and fourth quarter brought us back into the game. And he had an opportunity, still couldn't capitalize on it. So it's just like, man, come on. It's the same with LA. It's just like we just need the quarterback to give us just a little bit more to get us over the top. We should at least have 3 wins, right now. And that's the frustrating part. And then the funny thing about it is what you were just talking about. It was a different situation when we had Matthew Stafford. With Matthew Stafford, the situation was we just didn't have the scheme and the personnel around him. When we get a 100-yard rushing game, it's a celebration here in Detroit. Because Matthew Stafford was never accustomed to that. He was never accustomed to offensive line. He was accustomed to one of the top defenses for 1 year of his entire tenure here. So, like I said, it's man. Yeah, I understand the frustration of the fan base. I'm a Lions fan. Of course I understand frustration. So, like I said, just got to be patient, though. Got to be patient, man.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that's hard for Eagle fans, and all of us. I'm not just pinpointing any of them. Other fan base have it too. I think the Eagles just have that little bit of extra kick and trying to get back to, because for the longest time, especially anybody who's 30, 20, in their 20s, early 30s, we've been always a relevant team. We don't stay down for long. And after being down like last year, we thought we were doing the right thing, but we have bigger problems than just our quarterback. I think our quarterback needs time to see if he can get where he needs to go. I think upper management and coaching is the problem, but I'm willing to just ride it out and see. There's nowhere we can go. And my whole 7 games we're going to win is me trying to hold on to something I predicted. By no means would I bet that right now that we're going to win 7 games. I honestly think the Lions can, defend home turf and get their first game. If the Eagles do not correct things, that's just how far away we are from just doing things right.
All I need is one. Just give me one win. If it's not the Eagles, somebody, just give me one win this season, man. I'm not in the business of going out winning 4 or 5, 6 games for no reason, just to destroy your draft position. But we know what this is. I just need one because I don't want to be on the wrong side of history again. So, like I said, if they go out and get a W this weekend, I'm satisfied with that. I know you guys feel otherwise, but I'm satisfied with that, and like I said, I want us to be definitely top 3 picking in the draft next season. So,
yeah, I'm not going to front and say that, once you realize you're out of it, which the Raiders game really opened us up. Like I said, Dallas 5-1, only lost 1 game, Super Bowl champs, both beat us. Even if you want to go farther, and the Raiders are 5-2, I just thought the way going back and looking at the context in which we get beat, we keep saying the only way we even have chances to win is if we do this, that, and the third, and we haven't even did that. And the crazy thing is, we came out the Raiders series, right? In the warmups, Jalen Hurts was under center, right? And they were cheering for him under center in warmups. Then he went in the shotgun just to warm up, and we started booing. Because that's the whole thing. We just want to see how he looks under center in a traditional offense, right. Not doing RPOs, right? So we come out the first drive, and I changed my podcast on Twitter. I'm Run the Ball Podcast until otherwise, Yeah. We come out, we go 8 plays, 67 yards, and cap it off with a touchdown. And that is 3 pass plays, 5 runs, and we go down so easily on the Raiders. Now, I'm not saying that we would have automatically continued because other coaching staff would adjust. But the very next drive, we drop him back in the shotgun. We do 6 pass plays, 1 running back run play, and the other one was a quarterback keeper. So it's like you immediately deviated from what was working and what we've been calling for. And it's just like, why? We had a game against Dallas where our running backs ran the ball 3 times. You know what I mean? It's just out of out of the war, out of this world, incompetence. So I just don't understand how you can really build on that. But I do want to touch on your draft pick point, and I do want to ask you about one thing on your defense in 1 second. Shout out to Brawlster B with the $5 super chat. He said the key for the Eagles winning this Sunday is to run more bubble screens. That's our next go-to thing, right? If we're not, that is what we are going to do. And a defense like yours, who is least coached up well, is definitely going to spot it out. Even if it works in the first drive or two, we're going to be trying to do it each quarter 3 times. But how is your run defense in particular? Where will you say you rank in run defense, and how you been against the run?
We've been pretty decent. I thought we would get destroyed in run defense. We went out and drafted a few hogs in this past draft. Alim McNeil, Onzarike. We drafted those 2 in the middle. They've been doing pretty good against. We haven't got destroyed by the run. Whenever we got destroyed, it was definitely because of our secondary, and we have a dim spot, in our safety. We got Tracy Walker, but we have Will Harris, which is absolutely atrocious. So it's been more pass as a problem. We've been pretty good against the run. I can't complain at all, especially for what we have. Our linebackers have definitely caught on over the last 2 to 3 games. So, not a concern for me. Definitely not a concern for me. Aaron Glenn has been drawing up some crazy things, man, to help that defense defend the run. So we'll see, man. Like I said, we'll see. It's, you just never know what you're going to get, man, with these type of situations, man. But I truly do. The defense, I have total faith in the defense just because he's at the helm. Now, the offense, I did say I have no problems with the coaching staff. I'm not an Anthony Lynn person. When we went and got Anthony Lynn and made him coordinator, I was not for it. I saw what he did when he was with the Chargers, man. And like I said, our fan base is also frustrated because we don't run the football. It's like I said, with Swift is more pass. They don't run them. So, and they barely put Jamal Williams in situations where they should have him in the game. So we're also frustrated. We've seen some games where our running backs barely touch the football too. So
we're gonna need that because we're 31st against the run.
Yeah. Man. See, that's with a guy like Jamal Williams, man. It's all up to the Lions. It's all up to the Lions. Anthony Lynn and the offense that he's been putting out there is it's not satisfying at all. As far as it's no rhythm to it. He has no rhythm to this offense. So we'll see what he decides to do this week. I have no faith in Anthony Lynn's offense whatsoever, me personally. But we'll see what happens, man. If they decide to run the football. Well, before I even finish, they have been doing this analytics thing. So he just may try to run the football a little bit more this game.
Well, hey, when you look at if you scouting the Philadelphia Eagles defense, it's just run. Just run, and that's going to open up the play action. I guarantee you, as much as you think Jared Goff don't see open guys, well, they're going to be so wide open in the middle. I mean, you target big play Slay, he holding it down over there. Steven Nelson has been decent over there. The middle of the field, pick who you want. That's just how open it is. But it also starts with the run game where we just, we're out of position. We're not there. We rely too much of our linebackers, and it's not the scheme. It's a scheme that relies on linebackers. You better have linebackers. You better not have your best linebacker, a CFL guy who just because he tries hard, he's a captain. We're really bad at the linebacker spot. I think we're probably the worst team in the NFL because when you guys were shopping Jamie Collins, we were all over it. You know what I mean? When the Cowboys cut what's his name? Who they cut? The chat will let me know. But the Cowboys linebacker, they cut him. The guy they drafted. I can't believe I can't remember his name. We were all over to him too, and I believe he went to the Packers. I forgot his name, but my whole thing about the draft is this: it's only week 8, and so I can't be talking about tank. Like players never want to tank, and coaches normally don't want to tank. I don't know about this coaching staff, but organizations are what want to tank because they want to, further the draft thing. But I do believe that once you don't want to get too used to picking in the top 5. Jalen Smith, shout out to the chat.
Smith, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot him. Well, we didn't get him, so it's like whatever. But when you get used to picking in the top 5, sometimes you just live in there, right? Because it's harder to get free agents unless you super overpay, because you have to overmatch everybody. Plus, give them that money incentive because you're not winning right away. You know what I mean? So I just think there's a lot. And so, again, I don't believe we can get to 7. But if you ask me, 2 wins or somehow get to 7, and it looked like the arrow's pointing up, I'll always take the arrow pointing up. But I just don't see how an arrow points up when you have the upper management and the new coaching staff. And maybe it was just 7 games. These guys are young; they're all in their 30s. They're a little bit older than me. And they turn it around. I doubt it. That's just how down I am on them.
Like I said, when it comes to the tanking situation, we are definitely not in the business of tanking. A couple of weeks back, Dan Campbell was emotional at the podium. He wanted to win a game so bad. So he like, if we are tanking, he at least wants to win 1 game. He don't want to go 0-17. But this team, the way that they've been playing, absolutely says no, we're not in tank mode. They are actually out there fighting for this man every single week, and I mean really fighting. So that's what got my respect with this coaching staff, to coach these players up like that and to have them play like that. Obviously, coaches, the players are not stupid. They know what the situation are. They know they're not good enough to do nothing, but they go out there every single week and give it all. That's the reason why Jamie Collins got, traded. Let go. It was simply because his effort just wasn't there, and they got fed up with it, and they told me, they gave him the boot. They're playing for this guy. They're definitely doing that. So I'm looking forward to see what type of performance we get this weekend, because I know they look at that schedule just like us, like our fan base has. Our biggest problem is, and I don't want to just keep putting it all on the quarterback. We just have to go out. I don't want to, man, even though I know better, but we just got to go out there and we got to produce, man. We got to get some points on the board. We did a good job of that last week, but we got to get some points on the board, man, because you guys can score. You know what I'm saying? I looked at you can't. I looked at your previous game. I looked at maybe it was a lot of garbage time scoring. You got a lot of games that's over 30 points. You know what I mean? So I don't know the whole scenario, but I figured it probably was garbage time. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? If that makes me even more happy if it is garbage time points. Because I was like, man, these dudes can put some points up, man. I was looking at your previous games like, well, shit.
You know what I'm hoping, though? I'm hoping because we're both bad, the whole game is garbage.
I just want to see good football, man. If I'm going to go through this, I want to see good football. That's all I ask for. That is all I ask for, man. And as you can see in the comment section, for a lot of my guys like Marvin, Nomis, some of you guys that's in here, they've been pointing out, Jared Goff the whole time since they've been in here. So that's pretty much where the city is right now when it comes to the Lions. They're absolutely tired of our quarterback.
So your thing is, like I said, you want to come out here and get a big win because it's only week 8. You're defending home turf. But if you do find yourself, trying, top 5 draft pick, you're around here right now, you hold the number 1. You know what I mean? Is there a quarterback in here that you like? Because I don't really look at college until we get close. Like if the Eagles are legitly bad, or like if they're going on this trajectory, I'll look at it early, but I'm not the biggest college guy. I got a wife, 3 kids, and with NFL and NBA and YouTube, I don't really dive into college, but I have to once I start. And shout out to my subs and some of the people that follow me on YouTube, on Twitter, because they point out guys who are like the legit stars and the sleepers, and then I'll go ahead and watch their best game and their worst game. I don't like to just type in their highlights because, of course, everybody got something they look good. How do you look when you're bad and all that? But the general consensus is the quarterbacks are like, yeah, there's going to be top quality, but it's nothing to ride home about. So how do you feel you get a quarterback for the Detroit Lions?
We're looking for a quarterback probably the following draft, not this draft. This draft is definitely going to be if we go top, if we're in the top 5, which we will be, I can guarantee that. It's probably going to end up, if we do get something like the first pick, it'll probably will be Thibodeau. It probably will be Javon Thibodeau from Oregon, unless the miraculous happens where my guy Hutchinson passes him up statistically, because Hutchinson has some really big games coming up. Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State. So if he continue to be dominant like he is, because he's only one position behind Thibodeau, we probably go with either one of those two guys. It's going to be a defensive draft. It's definitely going to be this. It's nothing that, as far as quarterbacks, it's nothing out there. Some people will say, hey, you got Malik Willis out there. Malik Willis is out there playing a bunch of janitors, man. We're not about to take him as a pick that high in this draft. If we do get a quarterback, it'll be in the later rounds this year. But I'm thinking that they're probably looking to the following draft, not this one.
Yeah, and see, and that's where once I say this, everybody's going to get mad at me, because like I said, I think Eagle Nation is split down the middle, maybe 60-40, 40-60 either side, that Jalen Hurts is absolutely not the guy. He has had 2 back-to-back bad games, and I'm not betting, oh yeah, I'm bought in right now. Right now, he showed some upside, but he showed all the inconsistencies that people are nervous about. My whole thing is with only the amount of starts he has. I physically have eyes too. I see the inconsistencies. Dang, you missed that guy. You did that. Ooh, but I do like this. Why can't you do this more often? You did that. Ooh, but I do like this. And so you can't win football like that in the NFL long term, but can we see him get better? That's my only idea, is the wait. And if, we got the chat talking about Matt Corral, some of them things, look, my thing is this. If you go ahead and get a quarterback, that early, he got to be your guy. We can't be just rotating quarterback. I know there's some factory thing floating around the Eagles thing, but that got to go. So with the Eagles defense being, a lot of still vets on there and 1-year contracts, I wouldn't mind going the defensive route, like the Kyle Hamiltons, the Sting Lees, a linebacker, a pass rusher, right? Especially with us having 3 of them Jones, right? We're going to have Miami's first, our first, and the Colts first, unless Carson Wentz gets hurt. So look, I'm not saying Hurts is the guy or not the guy, but if you could just get him going in the right direction, then you see next year really if he can take the thing. But if we can invest 3 picks into the defense and then worry about the quarterback later, but that's the thing, you just don't want to be in quarterback purgatory on how important a quarterback is to a franchise. You don't want to be in purgatory where now you invest in your defense. Jalen Hurts is okay, but not good, and then he keeps you around that 8-win area, and you can't get a quarterback, but you can't get any better because you feel like you need a quarterback. So it's hard to be in there, but with teams ready to give up next year and next year's draft pick, depending on what the situation is, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. I'm looking at the comment section, man. J Love 47 says he don't know how us Lions fans do it, man. Listen. It's a lot of teams out here that's that never won a Super Bowl, that never had that experience, and a lot of them just are starting to do them in recent history.
Let's go.
Yeah, right.
It's just 4 years removed.
Us and Brown fans, it just with our team, it's just like, man, since we're on the wrong side of that history, when we do win that Super Bowl, we don't want to, not be there for it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be that fan that comes in when it happens and be like, oh, I've been a fan, this, that, and that. We're trying to stay consistent. We're trying to stay behind our team. We've had some of the most unfortunate situations happen with us. A lot of screw jobs going on and all type of things with the Lions. But we just want to, support our team, man, through the bad times, which has been mostly all bad times. But when they do hit that high height, it's just going to make it that much sweeter. It's going to make it that much sweeter, man, because like I said, I'm probably sure you guys can attest to it, just winning y'all Super Bowl recently. So, y'all history ain't as bad as ours, but what good is going to the playoffs if you're not winning the damn Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? So ask Jared Goff, ask the Rams, you know what I'm saying? So what good is that to get there and just get embarrassed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get to the mountaintop, and I want to be there along the whole ride. So that's how we do it, man.
Yeah, and I definitely can attest in the sense of the Eagles have had like a richer history in a sense, being playoff worthy, always relevant, and just as a general fan, the ultimate goal is to reach the Super Bowl, no doubt about it. But what keeps you engaged is the ride, right? And sometimes the ride ends in the playoffs, but when you have that feeling of always knowing you have a chance to go to the playoffs, which I've had that feeling for multiple years, it's there. Like the feeling of what I felt last year and now this year, it's like it's rough. Nobody jumps ship if you're a real fan, but because the Eagles have been talked about to lose 4, being the 5 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl, and still didn't get it done, right? We had all them opportunities. When this one came up, being our last opportunity was in 2009, the 2008-9 season. It was like bang. And then everything went against Philly too. Like they broke down, left tackle out, Darren Sproles out, this guy out, our starting quarterback Carson Wentz out. Like the football guys were trying to throw a monkey wrench in it, and somehow we got it. So, it's definitely, something that I'll always hold on to. And and shout out to the 60-year-old, because I got some, I was looking at, we were talking in my last live stream when I was just crapping on our owner slash GM, Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie. But the people who are in my chat, we did like an age check, and there was a bunch of 60-year-olds there too. And I'm like, shout out to y'all, because y'all rode the distance of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the 80s and 90s was really the unpleasant ride. I came in at the end of the 90s. So, I got into that Reed McNabb era. And so I tasted the almost success. And then as a grown-up, I was able to taste it. But, right now, these are some dark times. And I say this to say that. I say this to say what I'm about to say next is, I don't know if we have the people in place to actually do the quick turnaround I thought we were able to do. And if you mess up, when you become this rebuilding team, a couple wrong things can keep you rebuilding for a long time. A couple right things in the NFL can get you back on track. You can turn an organization around via trades and free agents and manipulating the cap and just hitting a couple draft picks for 3 to 4 years straight. But I don't know if we got the guys. I know this is supposed to be about Sunday, but I got to get all this out too, because if we lose to the 0-7 Lions, what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like I said, man. Like I said, you just got to be patient, man. Like it's even like going back to the comments with Jay Love, he said, pretty much that the Lions have habit of just winning 5 games. Well, that's not actually true. Recently with Matt Patricia, yes. Jim Caldwell came in. We went 11-5 his first season. Then we went 9-7 twice.
Yeah, that's the
Lions. Yeah. The Lions decided that they were going to fire Caldwell along with Bob Quinn, so he can bring Matt Patricia in, who was absolutely atrocious. But then you look over Matthew Stafford's career. You can go find multiple seasons. We went 11-5 in the Schwartz era. We went 10-6 a couple of times in the Schwartz era.
Schwartz.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you think it is watching from afar. The thing is that we just can never put the roster together that's going to take us over the top and really be competitive. We're in the NFC North. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Aaron Rodgers here. We talking about the Bears defense here. You know what I'm saying? You got the Vikings to deal with. So it's not easy unless you have a competent management, which we just cannot have for some reason. Like I said, it's just gonna be hard. It don't matter. We had Megatron, but at the same time, we had no running game. We had no offensive line. We had no defense except for 1 year. So it's just like it's not across the board with the Lions. It's always we good at this spot and that spot over there. It's not consistently good over the entire football team, and that's the biggest problem. That's what I'm trying to get people to realize, man.
Yeah, I specifically remember the Lions carving us up on a Thanksgiving game where Megatron, we were sending Eric Rowe on him, and Megatron had like 3 touchdowns that day. You did have some bright times with the Stafford Megatron era. You always, Jim Caldwell was definitely a dude who got the short end of the stick via probably politics and all that dumb stuff that goes along with football, low key, that, can't really, one day might let go of it. With that being said, we find ourselves here now with like, again, low key, I've been watching it. Like, the Lions have been playing, like, you don't really get to celebrate much on an 0-7 team. Normally, when we saw the Dolphins go 0-6 to start the season, or 0-7, they were losing every game by 20 plus, right? You took the Baltimore Ravens to a record-breaking field goal. If Justin Tucker, if there was any other kicker than Tucker, y'all would have won that game. And then you gave the Rams everything you got. So this is going to be a tough matchup for Philly going in. Let me ask you, how do you feel about passing against, big play Slay, Steven Nelson, Ronnie McLeod, and I believe we're going to have Marcus Epps in. And how do you feel about the pass game? I know that you're most down on your quarterback, but like using your weapons, TJ Hawkinson, who's your number one wide receiver now?
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's the rookie, right?
No, it's not even the rookie. It's our top receiver is a guy that you never heard of before right now. His name is Khalif Raymond. I don't even know where this man came from. This guy has been. If you go back and watch some of the highlights from last week against the Rams, you're gonna see Khalif Raymond. So, like I said, right now, with our rookie not playing, Cephas has not been playing. So, he's been a guy. But even if we had top receivers, Jared Goff ain't throwing it to him. That's the thing, man. He's not throwing the receivers we have. When you go back and watch film, shout out to Lions Cam, there goes Mobby. He does the film for the Detroit Lions, man. And, you go watch the film, the receivers are open. They're wide open at times. Jared Goff just cannot find them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest problem. It's his, yes, exactly, Elton, in the comments. It's his noodle arm and those small hands, man. He can't throw the ball down the field. So it's just like, man, it's frustrating because we do have TJ Hawkinson, and TJ Hawkinson should definitely be on any other team, he's automatically a Pro Bowler. But we don't go to TJ Hawkinson the way that we supposed to. So it's just like, I don't look for anything in the past game. And especially with my guy Slay, man, we love Slay in the city. Everybody still loves Slay in the city. We still be all over his Twitter, all of his handles and everything. We love Slay, man. Don't expect the ball to go anywhere towards Slay unless it's an interception, because that's Jared Goff all day.
We could definitely use a couple of those. So where are you at with your offensive line? I know. You drafted Penny Sewell. I saw the clip that was trending. I said, not many 20-year-olds stand up to Aaron Donald like that, right? He was, after the play, letting Aaron Donald know. So how has he helped your offensive line, and how is it doing as a whole? Because the Eagles have a good D-line, but the way we play our back seven makes our D-line's job so much harder. We're top in the league when it comes to pressures, but quarterbacks are having the middle's open that you can get the ball out where pressure can't even get you, even if there are hurries. So how's your offensive line holding up?
Offensive line is holding up. Look, first and foremost, we missing Taylor Decker, and we missing our Pro Bowler center and Ragnow. The center that's behind Ragnow right now, you look at PFF from last week, he absolutely was the best in the entire league last week. Sewell is a monster. Sewell's a beast. He's had he's had to go against Bosa also, man. Didn't really do the greatest against Mac. But Sewell's a beast. And you said that you guys have problems with the run game. Well, that's where he flourishes, in the run game. So, like I said, if we do have success in the run game, a lot of that credit is going to go to that side of the line. We are definitely creating some holes this year for the first time. As long as I've been a Lions fan, I've never seen us consistently open holes like they are this year. So that's definitely going to be a matchup. Our offensive line is pretty solid. Even though we missing some power players, we are pretty solid. We're pretty solid across the board.
All right. Yeah. Because that was one thing that I was hoping, again, if you I'm glad you say you don't like to run the ball, but like I said, the Chiefs are not a running team too, but they came into Philly. Andy Reid, a passing quarterback, Mahomes a passing Andy Reid, a passing coach, Mahomes a passing quarterback, and they allowed Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Damian Williams to rush 20 total probably like don't quote me, between 23 to 26 times for and a couple wide receiver reverses for close to 200 yards. Now that was early in the season. We cleaned up a little bit, but not that much. We still very vulnerable to the run especially if you stay dedicated to it. I didn't know, again, I got to watch a little bit of Penny Sewell, but yeah, this is going to be where it's at. I think, especially if Jared Goff gets off to a rough start, I think you really rely on the run game. But, if we can get Goff doing golfish stuff, that's when then we can, key on. Again, I feel like each week after something blows up, the coaching staff looks to try to fix that one area and then let something else blow up. Like, I feel like they're like, I feel like they all got burner accounts. It's like, what is Philly talking about now? Okay, let's go try to clean this up, because it's just a week late, a dollar late, a penny short, whatever that saying is. All right, so if the Detroit Lions win against the Philadelphia Eagles, this is how they win. What's the game plan on both sides? Or what do you think happens? Like, give a little bit of this is what we do to get past you guys in week 8.
If the Lions win this game against the field for the Eagles, is going to be mostly dealing with Swift and Jamal Williams. And, us, we go with Hockenson here and there, but it's definitely going to be on the ground. It's going to be on the ground. It's going to be passing out the backfield. I've seen for 2 games this season where Swift literally took over the game himself. That's why we're so high on him. That's the only way possible, that I see them. It's not going to be in a pass game at all. Jared Goff doesn't throw long balls at all. And if he does, they're inaccurate. So it's going to be some screens and some passes in the flats, and that's about it. They'll have to eat on that like they did with the Rams. If the Eagles beat us, it's definitely going to be because of, the secondary. We like I said, we have some rookies back there right now. They did pretty good last week against the Rams. I don't know if that's going to continue this week. We are so light on the defensive end with the people that we have out. So, our linebacker core and our secondary is going to be the tell-all. If you guys can, just don't think it's going to be from running the football. The Lions just have not let anybody just shred them running the football this year. But on the flip side, but on the flip side, like I said, when we did get killed, it was in the passing game. So it depends on, what you guys draw up against us in the passing game. You guys scare me also because of, what you just said. You guys are top in the league in pressures. And that's where Jared Goff absolutely falls apart. He panics. That's one of his biggest problems. So that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary, man.
So how come with Okudah being out, I know there was one guy in your secondary that was stepping up, but how do you feel? I know you said that's your weak link, but is it more your safeties, or you think your corners are beatable?
We got some solid corners. Rookie Jerry Jacobs, absolute stud, did a hell of a job. Yeah, Jerry Jacobs. Amani Oruwariye from Penn State has been solid since he's been a Lion. So on both sides, we pretty solid. We also have Parker. We also, we have a bunch of young guys that can ball. But at the safety position, besides Tracy Walker, we have Will Harris, and he's horrible. He is terrible, and he's been killing us, man. There's been a lot of big plays given just because of this man. So shout out to Go Rams. I see you in here. Go Rams is a Rams fan, kind of connected because of the trade. But yeah, like I said, it's our corners are pretty solid, for what it's worth. But that was against, these previous 2 teams. I'm not going to say that's going to, one thing with rookie corners, you just don't know what you're going to get every single game. Sometimes it's going to be inconsistencies. So you guys just may get off, what I'm saying, in the pass game. I don't know. But yeah, that's my only fear. Our rookies not holding up this game. They've been solid, but we'll see.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think this is a game for Jalen Hurts to try to reestablish himself. And I'm not really saying that your secondary is like the weakest link that we've played so far, or anything along them lines. I just think that what you guys have, and you know, your linebackers are pretty decent, I believe. You know, you were able to get rid of Jamie Collins, who's still a decent name, just, you know, being lazy. And I think when you get rid of a player in a group and everybody's like, dang, he got cut, you know, I mean, everybody just steps up a little more. Always, no matter, you know, no matter how they're doing, I always like to attack like a young secondary, because there is that one game where, you know, the pressure gets a little bit to them and they tail off. We got young wide receiving core. You know, we're coming out there with the first year Devontae Smith, second year Rager, and second year Quez Watkins, who was a 6th round pick, who definitely stepped up. You know, he deserves more playing time than Rager. But I think we ultimately, if we want to get a passing game going against you guys, we got to use the running backs and the tight end Dallas Goedert, who now is the vocal one on the number 1 tight end on the team, knowing that we part way with Zach Ertz. Again, I want to run the ball just because you just need to keep stuff, you know, fresh. Miles Sanders won't be there. He's week to week with an ankle injury, but he's not going to be there. That's a hurt piece, because simply, will they bring up Jordan Howard, who's on our practice squad, who we've all been, Eagle Nation, been waiting to see him, because he could be that thunder to someone's lightning, as you guys have. But I think the biggest thing, right, no matter how I think our offense can match up, and I need our offense to start fast and stay connected, this defense has to come to play. I will say this. We play a super vanilla defense that relies on our linebackers. If we had good linebackers, maybe Jonathan Gannon's system works. To me, knowing that our worst part of our team is linebackers, why would you try to run a scheme that makes your linebackers, you know, give them heavy responsibility? I don't understand it. With that being said, if he changes things up and comes with a little bit of pressure, which we've seen him do a couple times, you know, the Sam Darnolds of the world, the Matt Ryans of the world, even the Niners quarterback, Jimmy G, we didn't beat them that game, but our defense played well the majority of that game on them 3 games. The other ones, our defense just got absolutely cooked. I think that is where the Eagles have a chance to win. On the road is trying to get a couple free possessions from Jared Goff. But I think this is going to be another game where whoever wins a turnover battle is going to win, because, you know, you just look, and again, I know a lot of Eagle Nation just looks at the lines and think 0-7. And, you know, the general consensus is they've been bad forever. You know what I mean? Especially the young guys. Like, we can't lose in them. And I've been preaching we can't lose you, because usually y'all, for the simple fact that, you know, you look into the context of your losses, that they might even be damn near better than our wins, if that could even make sense. But the 0-7 mark that turns into 1-7, and then you know, depending on if you don't win anymore, and you go back in the off season, it's like, who's the one team that Lions beat? You know what I mean? And that could be a demoralizing, especially to a team that's already down. Like, you know what I mean? We're down.
Man, your comment section is on fire right now. I knew it was a little shaky with you guys' fan base, right? But these guys, man, they don't have any faith right now. And you know, I know exactly what that feels like, man. I just left Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, bro. We know exactly what that feels like, you know. And oh man, yeah, they are letting us have it in the comments. But you know, like I said, here's the thing, you know, at the end of the day, it's definitely going to have to be a defensive battle. Over the last 3 weeks, the Lions been consistent, and if they have anywhere close to that consistency, this is how we win the football game. Because, like I said, the Lions' record is not telling a whole story. If you go back and watch any of them games, it is not telling a whole story, man. They've been doing some things, man. So, man, this is definitely an interesting game, man. And like I said, the title you gave this video is perfect. You know, who needs it more and who wants it more is going to win this football game. That's the simple plan.
Yeah, I think the want is definitely you guys. I think the need, just to save face, is us, because of how your fan base and your locker room feels, right? You know, your team, your morale is somehow brighter than ours with 2 wins. You know what I mean? It's wild. So I think the want is y'all's, the need is ours. But again, just like you said, you're like, I'm kind of worried about your offense. Y'all look like y'all put up points. See, a lot of people, with their busy schedules and all that, they can really hone into their team. It's not everybody who hones into the rest of the NFL. I always keep tabs on everybody because I'm big into sports gambling. I've low key did less of it now since I'm on YouTube and I spend time, preparing for shows and stuff like that. But I'm still heavy into it. But with that being said, as you thought, we were scoring points, we lead the league in fourth quarter points scored. There's a reason. But everybody don't see that. So sometimes you can always say like, oh, this team is not as bad as people say when you look at the 27 points we put up, right? We lost to the Raiders 22-30, 31-22, 32-22, but it felt like we lost by 100. It felt like we lost by 100. But so look, season being all done, we're going to have that loss by the Detroit Lions, right? They're not going to come back and say, well, the Detroit Lions played 5 other teams that were playoff contenders tough. They're going to say, dang, the Eagles, say you do got 3 wins, right? And they're like, one of them was against the Eagles. This is going to be the whole offseason narratives. And we don't need to give the Cowboys, Giants, and Washington content creators and fans anymore. They already come and harass me enough. You know what I mean? So they come in my comment section, especially with the down season we're having this year. So it's going to be interesting.
I feel, I feel everything you're saying, man. And like I said, my prediction at the beginning of the season was for the Lions to go 5-12. You know what I'm saying? I already knew what type of season this was, and I was looking at the record at the time. And we haven't even gotten into that part of the schedule yet. Well, now that's down to 3. 3 victories is where I think the Lions can go. We have some teams that's probably not going to be playing for anything towards the end of the season, so that may help. But like I said, and needing it more, definitely you guys. We really don't need it. We just need not to go 0-17. You know what I'm saying? That's it. We don't really need it. We actually need to lose. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. You need not to go out there and win meaningless. I like to see from the very beginning of the season, going into a rebuilding season, my first thing to sell to my fan base was meaningful, competitive losses. I want to see competitive losses. Go out there, play hard, compete, but at the same time, don't go out there and win 5, 6, 7 games and be in the middle of the pack just to mess up your draft position. So I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
And just hearing you say that, I feel like that could be in our future, like this season or even next season. And it's like I can't fathom that. I can't wake up on Sunday, you know what I mean, and be like, I want the dub. It's like, I understand what the smart thing to do is, right? No doubt about it. Look at the Eagles last year. We pulled out Jalen Hurts in the last game, and that was a difference of getting us, an extra pick in the long run in Devontae Smith. I agree with all that 100%. But it's like me physically on Sunday watching a half of good football. I can't be like, all right, well, now you know what to do.
Right.
A little bit. You know what I mean? I can't do that. And so, like if you lose the way you lost to Baltimore and the Rams, you're just like, you know what I mean? It's different. Again, if this trend continues and we're at week 13 and now there's 4 more games, then you can kind of back it up and just, I can't go that far in football season just watching play. But right now the Eagles, they're doing fine trying to win and losing. So we'll see where that goes. It's just hard for me to believe that my upper management is going to hit the reset button again when they already hit the reset button when it comes to coaching staff, coach, and quarterback. Now, we're asking them to possibly do it all over again, maybe minus a quarterback if Jalen Hurts proves something, or if he doesn't, then with the quarterback. But there's one person who stays, is the GM. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about your upper management, but the Philadelphia Eagles, this GM has survived more coaches changes than any other GM in the league. Like, he went through 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th or 5th coaching change. There's a steady problem, but he does have that one Super Bowl in the mix, and then we fell flat on our faces. So it's tough.
With our GM, we totally confident in Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes came from, the Rams. He was the one that had the influence of picking some of those guys. The only strike that I have is this influence on picking Jared Goff. That's about it. But he was the guy that gave that major influence for the Rams to go and get Aaron Donald, and they got those Jalen Ramseys and things like that. So just with this, and on top of that, doing it without having a first round pick for multiple years, what I'm saying? So, we definitely, like what we got at our GM position. In fact, that the president of football operations don't know anything about football, it alarms us. And our ownership is, we have two elderly ladies that know nothing about football as well. So they went out this off season. They said they wanted to get some football guys in the building, and they went and they got some of the Lions greats to be around the building and help them be a consultant and assistants and things like that. So it's a little bit more comfortable for us. Our thing right now is talent. Our biggest thing is talent. We all know where we need to go next. Talent is the next key for the Detroit Lions. We just have to acquire the talent. At least you guys hit the reset button. Ours was involuntarily. Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia did the worst drafting I've ever seen. I mean, literally, we went out and drafted guys that's not even in the league still. So it's like, man.
Yeah. But again, now we look, hindsight 2020, Carson Wentz is playing better in the Colts. So again, that goes to show it was our organization. Doug Peterson is not coaching, but he's chilling, and the coaches look even worse than him. But the one guy who got to stay was Howie Roseman, and it's just the GM and owner relationship is too crazy. And I'm not even listen. I would like to keep Howie around in a limited role because what he's able to do with he's a great trader, he's a great seller. At times, he knows how to mess with the contract. He knows how to manipulate the cap. We went this offseason, -60. I mean, he was part of the problem too to get us there because he was holding on to Super Bowl guys, but that's because he was holding on to Super Bowl guys. I want football people in the building, and I want my owner to be like, you know what? I'm an owner for a reason. I'm not a football mind. I'm paying these guys to do the job. So don't pay them and hover over them, or just why are they even there? You might as well be the next Jerry Jones. But I can say the Cowboys draft good. I don't know how they do it. They do. But and Jalen Hurts being the reset quarterback, he was just left there. So I don't even know how the organization really feels about him. But real quick, shout out to Cognac Yang. He said Jared Goff would make Devontae Smith Rookie of the Year. See, that's how some people feel about Jalen Hurts. As you were saying that Jared Goff misses everybody who's wide open without McVay in his ear. And remember, McVay used to be in his ear until the clock said 0. And I bet you they've been cheating. He had his own little extra chip in there. He was talking to him. Look left, look right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. And that was one of the reasons McVay said he wanted Matthew Stafford so bad. He said, I don't have to coach him. I know Matthew Stafford's going to read the defense. I know he's going to make the right pass. I don't have to hold his hand. And that's what the Lions fans didn't know when we first got Goff. So when I first did the first video on him, they were like, man, what are you talking about, man? Jared Goff, this, that, and third. Now look what week we in, and they absolutely can't stand him. I told him in the beginning, man.
Yeah, and again, Jalen Hurts does miss wide receivers. He'll make a nice playmaking play with his arm and his legs, then he'll miss an easy one. But the only reason I'm not dismissing it, like, see, some people call me like, on the same video, I'll get Jalen Hurts hater, Jalen Hurts lover, right? It's because at the end of the day, I will voice my frustrations in the game and after the game. I'm like, damn, Jalen was bad. They're like, you can't blame all Jalen. I say, I know. The worst part is the coaching. But when he had his little parts of open passes that he missed, I got to give him some shade on it. That doesn't mean I'm done with him because I understand that he's only in his 10th start. And I look at Trevor Lawrence, who's struggling. I look at Zach Wilson before he got hurt, who's struggling. I look at Tua, who they don't want him no more. And then I look at some of the guys, like, and I'm not saying everybody can be Josh Allen, but Josh Allen was really, really questionable his first year, and he learned. And if Jalen don't learn, I'll be able to come and listen. I support the Shield, so I would say, you know what, y'all right? Let's do it. But it's like I don't have to make a decision today because if I do, they don't give a dang about my decision, so I'm just going to read and react.
Funny that you mentioned Tua, man. We have a part of the fan base who actually want Tua want the Lions to trade for Tua since, you know, the emerging news about Watson, that conversation taking a step forward. So we have a part of the fan base who actually wants Tua here. That's how bad Jared Goff has been. That speaks to how bad he's been. I was actually, you know, the funny thing about it, your quarterback, Jalen Hurts, is someone that I said that the Lions should go and get in a later round. And they had
What round were you thinking?
For Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
anywhere 2 and up at the time. At the time, it was, I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? I just like, you need to get a backup quarterback while Matthew Stafford was still there and groom him while Stafford was still there. You know, we still had Stafford at the time. So I'm like, just get him. You know what I'm saying? We never had a backup quarterback ever here. You know what I'm saying? With the Detroit Lions. There's always some guy that has no business on the roster. So I said, man, they should go and draft Jalen Hurts. And, you know, they had an opportunity and they passed up on it like they always do. They didn't even take a quarterback, period. And now look at us, you know. So it's wow. It's that bad at the QB position right now in Detroit, man.
Yeah. And like, look, we've seen some fourth round picks, third round picks hit. So my whole thing is this. If Jalen Hurts continues to show me he is not improving, then we might have to look at what we do in that quarterback. Although there's nothing that just screams, oh, this is one of them guys for the decades, even though they don't always pan out. With that being said, if the Eagles, however, see some growth in Hurts, but still have some concerns, well, that's when you go 3 first-round picks in defense because you need playmakers over there big time. Especially when the aging guys go into 1-year contracts go, right? You go 3 defensive players, and then maybe your second or third round, you look and find that quarterback that maybe you think if Jalen Hurts continued to mess up, he could come in and do it, and or you still figure out stuff later. You know, you can always trade future draft assets. Like, look how we went and got Carson Wentz. We were like the 11th pick. We got down to 2. Or 13th pick, got down to 2. I just don't think you panic and go quarterback now because now you're wasting top capital. And I know the people who drafted Dwayne Haskins with the first round feel bad. I know Gettleman for the Giants feel bad about Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? Drafting him that high. And so you don't just reach first rounds, especially if we have to get to like 5. Like, say the Eagles are the 8th pick. Say we have the 4th, the 8th, and you don't just make sure you're right. Make sure it's your guy is your guy. Your guy got to be your guy if you're going to go 1 or even multiple first-round picks that early. Because if you get one of these defensive guys like a Kyle Hamilton, a Stingley, Hutcherson, they're studs. They're studs. Yeah. They're studs.
If you see me smiling and laughing for you and for everybody, it's the comments. You guys are, I know. Man, is your comments always like this? Are they just?
They're always like this. They're always crazy. Yeah,
they are something special, man.
This is probably a calmer night. You know what I mean? It's we're passionate, and again, we don't like to wait. You know what I mean? We don't like to wait.
I feel you, man. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When our fan base is at a point, like, I mean, we've been at that point for years and decades. You know, like I said, we ain't won nothing since '57, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, last time we went to the playoffs was in the '90s with Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, not went to the playoffs, but won a playoff game. But yeah, man, like I said, I feel the frustration. You know what I'm saying? Even though you guys just recently won a bowl, your expectations are very, very high after that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, our organization should be able to sustain some type of success. But to be in that situation right now, I know exactly how you guys, well, I don't know exactly how you feel, but I can imagine how you feel. I can't say I know exactly how you feel. I can imagine how you guys feel, man. It's definitely understandable.
Yep. And so all we can do is, like I said, the best case scenario is for the owner to realize, wow, we went back. I've got more hands-on since the Super Bowl. We've been worse since the Super Bowl. I have this fetish to keep passing, but we were 3rd in rushing with even Carson Wentz. Even though Carson Wentz was really good that year, we were 3rd in the league in rushing when we went to the Super Bowl. Okay, so let's be more balanced. Let me get off the person's back. Oh, Howie, you're good at numbers. Get over there. Oh, we need a football guy get over here. Like, I can't even really begin to like say, you know what, we got talent on this team when I got coaches who just talk about gardens. I got defensive coordinators who say, you know what, maybe we got to ask our players what we got to do. I mean, I get some input, but you're the coach. It's just a mess, bro. It's tough. I'm having I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to come in like, you know what, we could beat the Lions. We could do it.
Oh man, I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Like I said, it's, you know, when you especially, well, we just had Matt Patricia. Oh my God, the job they just did to us, man. It's like I said, their drafting actually was rebuilding, you know, and they weren't trying to, you know. So, and then, like I said, with the coordinators that Matt Patricia brought in, when we had a guy named Paul Pasqualoni, man, that was, I mean, the worst thing I ever seen in my life. It was so bad, you know what I'm saying? So depressing. So when you don't have faith in your coaching staff, man, it's the worst. It's worse than, you know, just having a bad roster. You know, we have a bad roster right now, and our coaching staff they're fine. But I can do this all day. But when you have a bad coaching staff, man, it's just a whole different type of depression. It really is.
It is. Because then you start to question players, and then it's easy to write off players and then go watch them be good somewhere else. That's not me hitting anything.
Historically, the Lions are the greatest team of all time when it comes to that. We seen so many people leave and be Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying? And I've tried to explain that over and over to the fan base. They don't want to hear it. But every time somebody leaves the Lions, they have a heck of a career elsewhere.
Unless they come to Philadelphia.
Well, you got Slay.
Yeah, but he hasn't been a Pro Bowler since. I think he's been a lot better than people say. I think if you look at what he's able to do this year, he's been locked down, but the scheme don't make it look like that, right? Because he plays zone. And so sometimes he's in the area, but it's not his guy, and this, that, and the third. But Slay does his stuff. And now you see on Twitter, he be like, he feel like you got to remind people because of the scheme.
Yeah. And see, but so one of the biggest things here with Slay is, you know, when we had him here, Slay had never had any type of counterpart on the opposite side of the field, man. We never went out and got another stud on the opposite side of the field of Slay. It's always some old guy from some team. We always digging in the garbage. That's what the Lions have done over the years. Dig in the garbage, get some guy, pay some guy. Like last year, we brung, you know, Trufant here. Like, what are we doing? Like, Trufant shouldn't even be this dude has royally been hurt over the last 5 years. It's like, what are you doing? We brought Adrian Peterson in here. LeGarrette Blount. What are we doing, man?
Hey, LeGarrette Blount was part of our Super Bowl winnings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, when we got him, man, he was on the couch eating cheeseburgers or something, man, because we couldn't get nothing out of him. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, shout out to still like got 142 people in here. We've been in here for about an hour and 12 minutes. If you haven't checked it out, go check the check it on the rerun. If you're just getting in here, hit the like button. If you haven't, it's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And it definitely pushes us out. You know what I mean? Get more eyes on it. It's always good for the channel. So yeah, you know, this was, you know, really good. But before we get out of here, give me your prediction. You can give a little bit of how it's going to go and then give me your score prediction if you got one.
I'm going 27-21 Lions. That's
27-21. Anything that you think big gonna happen? Like, you know, we gonna get a couple turnovers from Jalen Hurts, or are we going to get a couple of splash plays? Hey, you just had you had a couple trick plays against the Rams, right? You might not need trick plays to get us, but you did get some trick plays.
I think our defense is going to carry us enough to allow us to go out and get the win. I think we just may create a turnover. We do have a young, you know, secondary, but one of our corners alone already got about 3 picks this season. So, you know, I think we will probably, you know, on the defensive end be able to hold you guys back enough to allow you know, the success on the offensive end. Like I said, we've had games where we've scored, you know, north of 20 points, but the thing is finishing games. So you know, we'll see what happens. That's why I'm just going to stick around 27-21. I don't think it's going to be some type of lopsided game, but that's where I'm at.
Dang, man, I got a team telling me they're gonna beat us and haven't won a game yet. This is where we at right now. Look, I definitely respect y'all team and just your grit and your fight. Hopefully we can come away with our kneecaps. No pun intended. With that being said, I think this, again, we're done talking about. We don't want to talk about Flowers, right? And so if we keep losing, we're gonna be talking about Flowers. I think it's going to be a tough game. I saw the chat. I don't know if it was an Eagle fan or a Detroit fan early, and it said that the last 3 times we played y'all beat us. Or was it the last 3 times in Detroit we played y'all?
We had Stafford.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yes. Lord. I wouldn't even be, yeah. Let me ask you, though. The games you fought harder at, were they in Detroit or on the road? Like Baltimore was in Baltimore?
In Detroit. No. Actually, we were in LA for that game. Baltimore came to our house. And then the other game that we lost by Baltimore at our house. The other game we lost by a field goal. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now, but the Rams, we were in LA, which was even more surprising. So on the road, we're pretty solid, but at home, I feel like we got a better chance. I think that stadium is going to be packed.
Yeah, I was just hoping that you were having success on the road. Because I think you're. Listen, I've heard low key on like little Detroit blogs and stuff like that. Like as Philly fans would like circle this one. This is a get right for Philly. I seen y'all saying the same thing. Not you in particular, but bloggers and things of them sorts was like Philly's the get right. Philly's the one.
Yeah.
Where Lions can get one.
Yeah, that's definitely is. I'm not even gonna sit here and that's definitely what it's been as far as the fan base. They every time I say, man, the Lions do have some teams that they can go out and beat. First thing flying up in my comment section on my stream, the Eagles. We can beat the Eagles. You know, like I said, a lot of the Detroit fans, we actually watch a lot of other teams, man. We watch a lot of football. You know what I'm saying? Because when your team is the Lions,
first quarter, let's switch in the red
zone. Right. Let's go see what somebody else is doing. So, but yeah, like I said, you know, but on another note, our fan base also pays attention to other fan bases. And just based off of what we've been seeing from you guys' fan base, it's like, okay, this just may be a game where the Lions can go and try to grit out a win. So that's why it's like that.
Yeah, and like I said, definitely checking in on the Lions, definitely seeing how they lost Scrappy. And anytime you lose to teams that are legit playoff teams and you push them to the brink, whether it is trick plays or not and stuff like that. I think you played the Baltimore Ravens, though, flat out really good. Stopping the run and stuff.
Lamar Jackson down.
Yeah, he's stopping the run, but you don't got to worry about that. We only going to run the ball, 9 times if we're lucky. So it is what it is. Hopefully, and again, we're going to have to rely on Jalen. I do think we're going to come out with a slight win. I got the score 23-20.
Okay.
Another field goal. But see,
man, don't say that. No. No, that is the only way we don't want to lose again, man. That is 2 different teams break. That's never happened before. It broke records twice in one season.
Yeah, ours would be like a 41 piece. You know what I mean? Something soft. 41 piece. Oh, but the thing is, we're gonna go up. It's gonna be 2020. We're gonna go up. You're gonna have 1 minute and 30 seconds left, but you're gonna have to rely on golf.
Yeah, you're gonna turn the ball over. Oh man. Wow, man. Yeah. Okay.
This should be good. And like I said, maybe we can get something, after it, discussing the game, the high points, the low points. Like I said, I take my L's on the chin. It took a lot so far.
Same here.
So, I mean, I'll talk about it. But yeah, I got 23-20, a close game, and hopefully that gets something going in the right direction. Like I said, if the coaching staff continues to coach this bad, just like context, like, I walked away from the Falcons game good, but that was week 1 and we won 32-6. And I put in context how bad the Falcons were. But if you are supposed to be a good team, you normally blow bad teams out. So I was thinking, dang, 32-6. They didn't score a touchdown. And then Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon from that game forward just changed. They just started acting like they know everything. Like, we're gonna create a new style. No, we've seen these people try to come in and try to change too much. Football's still football. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You definitely, you could get cute a little bit, but you still got to get down to the basics. You can't just totally go separate from what the foundation of football was, which is be physical, run the ball, do this and that as first, right? You can't do that.
So it is. I had to go and look back at the schedule. It was the Vikings. Listen, we went. It was let me see. Against the Ravens and the Vikings. We lost both of those games, 19-17, on record-breaking field goals twice. Similar, same score. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, our schedule has been absolutely brutal. Our schedule is brutal overall. So, like I said, you look at these games that we playing these guys, and staying in them. The teams that we're naming, it's like, okay, maybe they got a chance, but we did get railed by the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it
Bengals ain't that bad.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, at the beginning of the season they were, but no, they right the ship. So it's like I said, it's gonna be a closer game. It's gonna be a very close game, and like I said, if we do win, it'll be somewhere around the 24-27 mark, maybe.
All right, so you got 27-21, 27-24. I got 23-20. Shout out to my guy Mark Johnson. He said, hopefully none of the Eagles get a case of the creeping elbow death. It's a little inside joke. It's somebody I know off YouTube. Yeah, I mean, we don't need no cases of anything for any Eagles. But like as King Swag said, the Falcons are 3-3 now, right? So at the end of the day, they got a better record than us. They got a better record than you guys. And the Falcons are the Falcons. But it's just the way we won that game. And then and I'm not big conspiracy theory. I'm really not, because if I got to start thinking like this, that, and the third, and my team is doing this, I feel like not watching, you know what I mean? So I don't try to get into that stuff, but to watch the Eagle fans who travel really well. There was Eagle fans in Vegas, right? Mad Eagle fans, right? So you see pregame, Jalen Hurts taking snaps under center, and the fans are cheering, right? And then they go back to some shotgun sets, and this is pregame. The game's not even starting, and they're saying boo, so they're giving that. And then before this game against Vegas, through 6 games, I seen Jalen Hurts, no lie, I'm going to try to give a good estimate. Out of 6 whole games, 12 times, I seen him under center, right? Out of 6 whole games.
God.
So this game in Vegas, every play, all 8 plays that turned into 67 yards and a touchdown were under center. So I seen 6 games, 12 under center snaps. This game, he starts out with 8 plays under center, 67 yards, a touchdown. And I'm like, yes, I knew this was a must-win game with the Eagles. No, the trajectory, nope. Stop. My man came out right away. The very next drive. So that, and even though I'm the farthest from a conspiracy theorist or whatever they call them people, I'm like, how could you do this? See it physically work and then flip the script and like don't go back to it for a while. It just
I've been saying that as long as I was able to recognize what football was watching the Lions. Like, how do you do this? I've been saying that as in my entire fandom career. I've been saying that. It's that bad.
Yeah. And then, of course, our running back gets hurt because he's like, bro, you didn't use me for 6 weeks. Now you're trying to turn it on. You didn't use me for 6 weeks. You try to turn it on in the middle of the season. Oops, there it is. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of craziness. But, this game is going to be telling. Not really say, win this game. If the Eagles win this game, I'm going to see where it goes. But it's too hard for me to say anything about building chemistry and stuff when I just don't see these coaches being the end all be all. I see them being exactly what the front office wants to kind of control things. And so, you know, I got no words for it. I'm just not used to being like, you know what? If we win, we still stink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I've only been doing YouTube for 2 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, God dang, man.
It's you know, I try to explain that all the time to my subscribers, man. You know, I've been doing this thing for 6 years. And you know, to experience something like that where it makes it kind of hard to come up and get in front of the camera sometimes. It's like, man, I'm so sick of these assholes. You know, it's like they're so bad for business, man. That's where they are. And it's like I said, but I still drag myself in front of the camera. I still make my videos. I still stream. And you know, like I said, it's the ups and downs, man. You know, the subscribers is what keep me motivated to do it. So I know exactly what you mean, man. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And like I said, shout out to Everything King. He's over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Definitely go check him out. All you got to do is type everything X King or everything King.
No, just type everything King. I'm gonna pop up. I promise you that.
Yeah. And listen, Eagle Nation, even though, you know, this was friendly, right? We win. I gotta go over there and hold it down. You gotta go hold it down on the review video, the recap video. Let them know that, hey, we saw you from Philly, Mike. Good game. Or
definitely
say, dang, y'all really beat us. You know what I mean? Dang, y'all really beat us. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. Any final words?
No, man. I just want to say I appreciate you for having me on, man. I love this type of stuff. You know, I love to meet other people from different fan bases that just as passionate about you know, content creating and showing love for their team like I am, man. So it's been a blast. I absolutely love this. We definitely got to stay in touch, and we got to do something else, especially after the game. You know, if you're feeling up to it, man, you can bring me back, or vice versa, whichever one you want to do.
Just let me know if you want me to come on yours too. And like I said, last year when I was doing this, I was looking out and trying to find content creators for each team and do this. But you know, like after like the early shenanigans this season, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to a Bucks guy and tell him how we're gonna beat him. Talk to a Chief guy, we're gonna beat. Come on now. And I'm like, I'm not saying I think we could beat you, but you know, I just typed in Lions content creator. I saw you come out. I was feeling the vibe of your channel, the humbleness and all that, and just how you get down. I was like, you know what, I got to get into this. Maybe this, you know, spark something. You know what I mean? Maybe just Nick Sirianni, watch the damn stream. Listen how we feel about you, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you want, you know what I mean, the Sixers will be playing the Pistons Thursday. You know, we can get some stuff like that. We'll play you a couple times this season since it's back to the regular 82 game season. But yeah, man, great to have you on here. Definitely go show him love after the game, even if we lose. Go ahead and tip your hat off to the Detroit Lions.
Y'all gonna win.
Oh my goodness.
I thought you were talking about the Philly game. Oh, okay.
Oh no. Well, you know the way Philly's going. I mean, Joel Embiid's hurt.
Yeah. But y'all got. Well, first of all, Drummond's going to be inspired.
Oh yeah, Drummond.
You know, yeah, like I said, Cade Cunningham is not even playing yet. So, you know, right now we struggling against the teams that, you know, have big men in the paint because we can't rebound the ball that well. So, like I said, y'all should be able to definitely pull out a victory. Our roster is down. Jeremy Grant is not even playing. So
Jeremy Grant, an ex-Sixer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So, you know, that's 24 points a game that's not playing right there, plus our first round pick. So yeah.
I know, but listen, if Embiid don't play, you'll just see how you know, I think without Embiid, the Sixer team could almost go to a lottery team. There's just the complexity, because even when we see Seth Curry and Tobias playing well, you know, Furkan doing a little something, Maxey, it's because of all the looks that Joel Embiid get. You know what I mean? You got to put, he's a top 5 player in the league, but you could, the crazy thing is this man is already, I love him to death as a player. But to know that we're on game 4 and this man's hobbled and his knee, he didn't get the surgery. He was going to, and we would think that he's already aggravated it. It's not he can play on it, but look what he did with the Knicks. Not only did he only put up 14 points, that's one thing, but he only elected to take 7 shots. Like, you're too big of a player. You need double-digit shots all day. So if we go, Philly will be way down if we go ahead and lose to the Detroit Pistons. You know, it's early NBA. Just knowing that the Eagles lost to the Lions and the Pistons beat the Sixers. Could be down.
No, y'all should be confident, man. I don't think the Pistons go take a win, man. If they do, I'll be surprised. You see these guys in the comments that's from Detroit. They saying the same thing. Elton Cross at the top up there. We just don't have it yet. You know, we got a bunch. We're developing. We're in a full rebuild. You know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about Ben Simmons? You know, we're tied to that asshole.
How?
Yeah, the trade rumors. The Pistons came up as one of the teams that showed some interest before he started doing all the antics. I want no parts of him personally.
Why? I mean, why not? He's a terrific person.
Oh no, the hell he's staying in Philly, damn it. We don't need that, man. We are young. We got Cade Cunningham.
He's only 25.
No,
there's no potential behind it.
Come on, man. I'm a bigger basketball fan than I'm a football fan. You're not pulling that on.
I know. I'm done. And like, he doesn't understand that to get his trade value up, he has to play. You know what I mean? That's the only way we're going to be able to get his trade value up, because the last time people seen him was not good. And then you also got to look at the fact of the matter being, like, people understand that you see, like, AD and Harden got out when they had 2 years on their contract, right? This man is trying to break the precedence of 4 years on a contract. The NBA don't want that. And if you did it to one person, you could do it to anybody else, right? And you're not Harden and AD talent-wise. Like, taking the hate out, he can really be a good player on a team. I think it's a mental block.
Yes.
I mean, I've always said, go ahead, shoot the ball, right? I want you to shoot it. But there was times that I rocked with him and said, you don't even need to shoot. If you just had the aggressive mindset of a Giannis, right? Because he's 6'10", he got better handles than Giannis. He got a way better handle than Giannis. And if he finished at the rim with authority and not being as scared and not running away from the free throw line with his handles, his pass, and his defense and going to the rim, that's enough. Well, but it's the mindset. It's too weak.
And see, we have a rookie right now that we drafted number 7th overall before Cade, man, and Killian Hayes, where we're trying to develop that with him. And like I said, I would rather a guy that just turned 20 that's much cheaper, that, you know, last game pretty much showed why you drafted him last game. He had a really good game last game. I'd rather keep that than get an expensive contract and a bunch of media headache, and you know, so it's like, man, just let him go elsewhere. I don't no parts of Ben Simmons, man.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. Shout out to Elton Cross, the $5 super chat. He said Embiid always missing games because he had a bubble guts. That was young Embiid, right? Yeah, he changed his diet. You know what I mean? He stopped eating Chick-fil-A.
Elton is one of my guys. See, why y'all can't bring y'all nowhere? Y'all, Marvin, I see y'all in these comments, man. Y'all
cool. No, listen, I do play-by-plays, right? So I'm gonna be live for the Eagles game, right? So I don't know if there's a Lions guy that they watch live and all that, but I'm always live for all the games play-by-play. Like during the game, I actually legitly do the play-by-play, but then I'm always gonna be biased to the Eagles, which is what it is. But you know what I mean? I give compliments when compliments are due, and so I'll be live tomorrow for the Pistons game, and I'll be live for the Lions game. I don't know if you do the actual live play-by-plays as well, but I do that. So, y'all beating us, or you just want to come in and say, dang, man, y'all guys why you make your guys look this bad, or you guys were right. This team is that bad.
No, I'll be stopping there. I'll be stopping there. I don't do the play-by-play. I like to watch the game in peace. You know, sometimes I'm real passionate when it comes to watching the game.
Oh, so yeah.
Listen, in the comment, I can't take it. I get pissed, and I'm like, look, man, I'm cutting the stream off. I'm trying to watch the game.
Yeah. And I tell my people, not like if other fan bases, because they're always the other fan base for that team come in and start talking trash, I say, listen, we're from Philly, or we like Philly. A little
Right.
trash talk. Trash talk belongs in sports, right? That's
Right,
why I
right,
hate the whole
right,
NFL.
right,
It belongs. But when you go overboard, like if you say the Eagles suck like 100 times and you just keep saying it and you're disrupting
Yeah.
the conversation, but if you like, damn man, that was hard, like come right criticism, say we suck once in a while, I'm okay because I'm gonna say the same thing back. But it's all sports love. But yeah, I ignore them and just go to my to the right guys. And I do spend most of my time actually doing the game. And I'm always afraid though because I do get animated too. I'm like, I don't want to be on no bleacher. I don't want to be that one. Yeah, it's live. It's live, and I do, especially watching the Eagles. They get me animated. With that being said, shout out to we still got over 100 people in here. We're not even talking about Eagles. We talking basketball. We talking about subscribers. We talking about just general things, and y'all still rocking. Appreciate y'all for coming through. This is going to be a game. We got King saying 27-21. Philly Mike saying
24.
23.
Change that 24. Change
yes,
that
he
24.
gave us 3 more points now. 27-24. And Philly Mike saying 23-20. Eagles try to turn this thing around. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.